Hi everyone, this is Gary Smith, here with another tip to help you dramatically and immediately improve your business and personal performance. As a business consultant and a business and personal coach, I do an awful lot of teaching. And so one of the things that I try to do in teaching is to impart important concepts to my clients in the form of models. Today I want to talk with you about what's called the effective efficient model. And the way we're going to approach it is I'm going to give you the layout of the model first, and then we'll talk about its significance. So if you need to pause the video to go grab a piece of paper and a pencil, do that now and come back and we'll get started. Here's how I want to move forward with the model. I want you to take the piece of paper that you have, and I want you to take your pencil and draw a line down the middle of the page, dividing the paper into two halves. And then in the upper left-hand corner of the page, I want you to write in big capital letters the word effective. Then if you would, go to the right-hand side of the page, and in the upper right-hand corner, write the word efficient. Then go back over to the left-hand side of the page, and under the word effective, I want you to write the word what. Then go back over to the right-hand side of the page, and under the word efficient, I want you to write the word how. Then if you would, go back over to the left-hand side of the page one last time and write this phrase, doing the right things. Doing the right things. And then go back over to the right-hand side of the page one last time and please write the phrase, doing things right. Doing things right. So if you followed my instructions, on the left-hand side of the page at the top you have the word effective, under that the word how, and under that the phrase, doing the right things. And on the right-hand side of the page you have the word at the top of the page, efficient, underneath that the word how, and underneath that the phrase, doing things right. A lot of the coaching and business and personal performance work that I do is surrounding helping people become more productive. And so when we start working, and initially when I present this model, everybody is jumping to one side of the model and saying, I need to get more productive. I need to be able to get more things done. And I get that. I really do, because we live in a society today where when we look at our business lives, our personal lives, the emails that we get, all of the social media stuff that we do, phone calls, voicemails, text messages, meetings, we all have more on our plates than we can possibly accomplish in one day. And so everybody's focus is on how do I get more productive? The problem with doing that, the problem with starting out on the right-hand side of the page is this. We don't have a frame of reference to look at the things in our lives and determine what things we need to be working on, what things we don't need to be working on, and what priority we need to give to the things that we should be working on. An example I often use is that I like to eat. And up until just a few years ago, I was able to eat pretty much anything that I wanted without my waistline expanding. Unfortunately, I've had to change that and go on a diet in order to shed a few pounds. But one of the things I always used to love doing was going to one of the all-you-can-eat buffets. And I would grab the plate and I would go through the line and I would pile it up with food. And just like the tasks and the events that we have in our lives, I would always put more food on my plate than I could possibly consume. But the other thing is that there would be a mixture of food on the plate. There would be some things that were good for me to eat and other things that might not be so good. But the key to it is that because of the way we've all been raised and the fact that we have been educated in calories and carbs and all of that sort of thing, it's really pretty easy for you to look at a plate of food like that and pick out the things that are good that you should be eating versus the things that aren't so good. So you can look at your plate and you can say, gee, the salad and the fresh fruit and the green beans are really good for me. The lobster mac and cheese, the garlic mashed potatoes, the medium rare steak, maybe not so much. Apply that concept to the stuff that you have in your life. Envision all of the tasks and events and circumstances that you have in your life filling up and overflowing a plate. How do you go about determining what you should be doing and what you shouldn't? You need a frame of reference. Just like in the restaurant, I needed the education about carbs and fats and things like that in order to be able to make judgments about what I should eat and what I shouldn't eat. We all need a frame of reference for the things in our lives. And that's why successful people always start on the other side of the equation. They start with being effective because they are first and foremost focused on what it is that they need to do and on doing the right things. And only when they have defined what those right things are, what their focus needs to be, do they then shift to the other side of the equation and begin focusing on doing the right things as productively as they possibly can. That's the challenge for each one of us. So how do people go about doing that? How do successful people take on that sort of challenge? Well, they start with having a mission. They know what their purpose in life is. And then once they have that purpose in life, they undergird that purpose with what I call core values and clarifying statements. They have values that determine how they go about accomplishing their mission. And then they take those core values and they have simple clarifying statements that tell them what those values mean to them. So as an example, one of those values might be family. And family could be very important to you as part of achieving your purpose in life. And perhaps a clarifying statement under that is, my family is the most important thing in the world to me, and I will do everything I can to be a good husband, father, wife, mother, whatever the case may be. So you can write those things and they really undergird what your purpose in life is. Then once they have a mission statement and they have clarifying or core values and clarifying statements, then what they do is begin to set goals for themselves, and they boil those goals down into a set of tasks. So they might have a goal that's 10 years in the future, a long-range goal. They break it into a medium-range goal that's maybe 5 years out, and a shorter-range goal that's a year out, and then they take that goal that's a year out and they break it down into a series of tasks so that they know clearly what they have to do today in order to be able to hit that goal that's 10 years in the future. By doing that, they create a filter, if you will, a point of reference where when they get over to the efficient side of the equation, what they can do is take all of the stuff, all of the activities that they have on their plate, and they can pour it through this filter. And as it comes out the other end, they instantly know, what do I need to work on? In what priority, and what's the stuff on my plate that I don't need to work on at all. That is so powerful if you can grasp that concept and begin to put it to work in your life. If you do, I promise you, it will revolutionize the way you live your life. If you have any questions, give me a call, 203-599-1467, or email me at gary@optex.com. We're here for you and your success, and we'll do everything we can to help you. Thanks for listening. Live your life with passion.
Copyright 2014 by Gary L. Smith and Optimum Performance Technologies, LLC. All rights reserved. For more information, visit optex.com.